Well, welcome everyone to our October industry update. Today, Athena and I are diving into something that can make or break your book's reach: distribution.
Yes, you can write the most powerful, life-changing message, but if your book is not accessible to readers, libraries, and stores, then it just stays hidden, and distribution is how your message actually travels.
Yeah, exactly. And with some big industry changes lately, including Baker and Taylor closing its doors, we want to make sure our authors understand what's happening and how Redemption Press is positioned to keep you covered.
So let's start first with the why. For indie and hybrid authors, distribution is the bridge between your book and your reader. Without it, you're basically selling to your friends and family. Now, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, right. Think of it like this. A bookstore staffer or librarian can't just pull up Amazon to order books for their inventory. They buy through specific channels. And if your book isn't there, it's invisible to them.
Yeah, so being available in those systems means any store or library can find and order your book, even if they've never heard of you. That's powerful, but it
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be a winning industry. Since I've been in Christian publishing for 40 years, over the last at least 30 years, I've seen 3 different Christian distributors go out of business and 3 secular, including Baker and Taylor, distributors go out of business. So I think my take on this is Amazon has made it extremely difficult for distribution channels to really be successful.
Yeah. So that's so good, Athena. So let's unpack the 2 main options that we have with distribution, and that is Ingram and Amazon. So let's start with Ingram.
Okay, so Ingram is like the granddaddy of all distribution. And they just got bigger now that Baker and Taylor is shutting down because Ingram just took all the libraries it used to buy from Baker and Taylor, and now they're servicing those customers. Ingram runs their own print-on-demand printer called Lightning Source for publishers like us, and also Ingram Spark for individual authors.
Right. So both feed into the same global system bookstores and libraries used. So if you're in Ingram, your book can be ordered from anywhere: Barnes and Noble, Waterstones. What's Waterstones? Amazon and beyond.
But that doesn't mean stores will automatically stock you. It just means they can. And it's up to your marketing and platform to create that demand. And I want to make sure everybody understands this. When you're through the Ingram distribution system, you're automatically on every .com that exists: Target.com, Walmart.com, christianbook.com, all the .coms. And it makes it look like they have purchased your book and it's sitting in their warehouse just waiting to send out, which is not true. Basically, they're getting all the metadata in and they're populating their website, their bookstore on their website, to offer all these books that they don't know anything about, actually, but it's populating. That's the idea, is that it populates their online store, so people, while they're at their website, can also buy some books. But it's important to understand they're not buying copies of your book and having it in their warehouse. All they're doing is bringing in the metadata, so it looks like, and they do have the book available, but not in a printed version. It's usually printed and shipped within a day or two from the time the order comes in.
Right. So that's a great clarification. Now, Amazon, we all know it's huge, but there is a catch.
Yes, Amazon's KDP, or Kindle Direct program, is great for selling directly to readers on Amazon itself. It's free, simple, and quick. But bookstores will not buy books printed by KDP. They see Amazon as competition, and Amazon's wholesale terms are not retailer friendly. And let me just say, when we had a number of bookstores on our panel at the Proclaim conference a number of years ago, it just blew my mind how those bookstores felt about Amazon. It was like a cuss word. And they, like, the last thing they wanted to see was any author promoting Amazon on their website or in the back of their book, because there's been too many independent Christian bookstores who have not made it because of Amazon's, just the way they do business. Makes it hard to compete.
For sure. So Amazon does, though, have this expanded distribution option, but it's limited and it's not trusted by the retailer and by their stores. So if you're only using KDP, your book is going to live entirely in Amazon.
Yep. And that's why the winning formula many pros use, and what we recommend, is both KDP for your Amazon presence and Ingram Spark, or with us, it's Lightning Source for the rest of the world. That way, there are some people out there who hate Amazon and they don't want to buy from Amazon, and they never will buy from Amazon. Not that they're in the majority, but they're out there. And so for us to be able to offer different options is a very important thing.
Yeah. So let's talk briefly about how those buyers actually operate. So bookstores and libraries order from wholesalers like Ingram, not directly from thousands of authors.
Yes. In fact, they don't want to find an author or find a small publisher and order books from 20, 30, 40, 50 different places. They want to order it from one place that has all those books available. So they expect at least a 40% discount and the option to return unsold copies. Those are standard trade practices. And if your book isn't returnable or discounted appropriately, stores will often just skip it. We have made an intentional shift to sell direct to Christian bookstores that we meet every year at the Christian Product Expo, to really protect our authors from any sort of unnecessary Amazon returns or other abuses that can happen in this industry. And it's been good to see the sales increasing for us over the last 6 months.
Yeah. And although retailers do get the larger discount of 40% or more, libraries get a smaller discount, but they love using a supplier who can process orders with the catalog data and their labels. That's one reason why Baker and Taylor was so important until now.
So let's talk about the shakeup everyone's buzzing about. Baker and Taylor, after nearly 200 years in business, they're shutting down their library distribution by January 2026. Whew.
Yeah, that's massive. They've been the go-to for public and school libraries for decades. Their failed merger with ReaderLink basically sank them.
And the impact? Libraries are scrambling. Many are shifting to Ingram, who already was ramping up to absorb the demand. Others are exploring Bookazine, or even surprisingly, Amazon's new Business for Libraries pilot. You always know Amazon is going to try and get in on the action.
Exactly. And the bottom line for us authors is that if your book is available through Ingram, you're fine. Libraries can still order it. But if you are relying on only Baker and Taylor, you need to pivot fast.
And that reminds us, never put all your eggs in one basket. Distribution diversity matters. And that's exactly why Redemption Press uses multiple channels.
Yeah. So let's explain how Redemption Press specifically is set up to protect our authors from these industry swings.
Well, we distribute through Ingram using our print-on-demand printer that they own, Lightning Source, through Seller Central. not just Kindle Direct. That means, and this is pretty much for the authors, that because of the kind of book they're printing and publishing, they're having to order a larger quantity to get the price down to where they can have a great retail price on it. And what that basically means is we can warehouse those copies and control the in-stock status and keep our listings professional, showing Redemption Press as the publisher rather than the independently published look that happens on KDP.
Yeah. And that does give us a little bit of that's all right. It does give us a little bit of an advantage when we do have those warehoused authors, because we give them some options to do a POD version if they need to, if it's appropriate for their book, which helps them get into a wider distribution. But it also gives us the ability to place other things in the package with the book. So if the author has a great lead magnet, or if they have some kind of collateral item that they would like us to do, our warehousing is set up so that they could actually have that be shipped with the book, so that their purchaser, their customer, can get even more value from their own. And they can really, with that, they can control price point. They can determine, do I want to pay for printing or for shipping as the author, or will my customer pay for it? So there's a lot of different things that we work through to make it the best fit for each author when we do that level. But again, it's a very specific thing. Like if you have a children's book that's full color and you want a hardcover, if you have a hardcover that's full color, even a soft cover, there's certain parameters that set you up for the offset print versus just doing POD.
And having the option for us to actually fill those orders and be that distributor for you, we're able to get better insight. We see who's buying. We see when orders spike. We can catch any glitches right away. And those are some things that we don't really get with the big distributors. They don't tell us where people are buying your book from, if they're from Amazon or from bookstores. They don't tell us the date that it's purchased. They just give us the numbers in each month. So what we've done with this gold option is really make it way more hands-on, so we can manage all of the things that make a difference when it comes to distribution. So go ahead.
But it's not for everyone. But our authors then have the opportunity to get the best of both worlds. You can get your global reach through Ingram, visibility and control on Amazon if you use gold distribution, or you can still have a KDP upload to Ingram and have the opportunity for or through Amazon, perhaps have a lower retail price and that type of thing. So we work with each author individually in their circumstance. That's why we're a custom collaborative publisher. No packages for us. Every author is different.
Amen. Okay, so now with Baker and Taylor gone, the combination is more critical than ever, and our authors won't miss a beat.
Right. So to wrap up distribution may not be glamorous, but it is vital to every author. It's how your message moves from your heart to the hands of the reader everywhere.
Amen to that. And the best defense against industry change is being educated and connected, which is exactly what we do here in the Book Marketing Pro Academy.
Yeah, so if you haven't checked your book's distribution setup lately, now is the time to do it. Make sure you're on Ingram and Amazon. And if you're with Redemption Press, you already are. So keep learning.
Keep writing.
And remember,
excellence honors God.
There you go. Thanks for joining us for the industry update today. We come to you live once a month, usually on the third or fourth Thursday, and give you what's happening in the industry. And sometimes it's a super fun one, and other times it's like today where we have to talk through logistics because of the recent news with Baker and Taylor.
But you know what? We always try and make it fun, even when it's dry material.
Correct. So thanks, Debbie, for joining us in the chat, and we will see you all next time at bookmarketingproacademy.com.
Bye for now.